West in Texas, when they're out in the spring.
Howdy, my name's Ken Starr. I'm the owner of M&M Water Well, and here we are at a solar installation that we did. Used a WORKHORSE pump out here outside of Normandy, Texas. I've got a customer here who has a property that also runs a business of cattle genetics. The customer, their need was initially multifold, wanted a backup source for water for the cattle as well as for the house. They have another well that was complete grid, but they wanted another source that would have backup alternate options. They also wanted to be able to have pressure. They were looking for a few different things to be able to provide, and I've found that the WORKHORSE pump is able to be a good mix of versatility, capability, and price point. Let's take a look at the wiring. Like I said, what we have here is a 3200 watt system. Because of the voltage, we had to do 2 parallel sets. We've got your basic stuff. You definitely need to have a disconnect. Because we went parallel, they provided connectors to where we could easily snap that stuff in. There's not a lot of cutting and splicing, per se on this end of stuff. If you plan it out well, it can be a real clean, neat installation. There's a bunch of different ways to wire these things, so keep bearing in mind that you can add more panels, but you have to be aware of the complexities of parallel versus series wiring, which we had to do on this one because of the amount of panels that we were adding. On this particular installation, the customer was pretty concerned with the aesthetics of the project, so we tried to go underground with as much as we could. We moved the panels down here kind of out of the way, tucked them behind trees, but located them in a place where we could get good southbound exposure where we didn't have good blockage of trees, because it is about the function of the system. So why don't we go up here to the well location that's at a different place, and we'll take a look at that. This particular location, because of the unique placement of the well and the panels, we had about 150 foot of supply line buried here to take the electricity from the panels to the wellhead. Now to the controller. Like I say, a lot of what I like about this system is the versatility of it. Electrical comes from the panel array downstairs up into the box to supply the DC power. This is the controller that you would use if you want to use AC and DC inputs. It sounds like a simple thing, but one of the unique features I like about this is this aluminum panel cover. We also have a grid feedback in here. Like I say, this system here can tie to the DC panels, or it can feed from the grid as a backup. 2-button operation, very, very simple, to where you can switch from auto, which switches between AC and DC automatically, or if you're wanting to troubleshoot, you can move to one or the other. Sometimes it's hard to get the sun at the right time, get the energies at the right place to know what your well's doing. This system is really a good option. It's got a lot of good features as far as that goes. Now to the well. So here we have our standard wellhead set up, pressure relief valve, pipe coming out of the well seal, 10-2 with ground, jacketed pump wire I like to use. Pump down in the well is sized to this particular well. That's one thing that's very important about designing solar, is making sure you have the correct size pump for the well based on water table and volume. The other thing that we've got here is a valve that we can open up to show you full flow of the well. We like to do a slab around our wells. It's kind of a neat, tidy, clean installation to just make the project look better. So why don't we go over and take a look at the tank setup. So here we have our pressure tank. I tend to lean toward the bleeder check valve system. That is one thing that a lot of guys don't think about. They standard will put in a bleeder check valve system, which lends for less maintenance, longer life on equipment. But at the same token, you can run this with this solar setup when installed properly. So we've got our plumbing coming into the check valve system so that the snifter and bleeder can work together for putting air into the galvanized tank. You've got your pressure switch here that runs to the signal wire. And you'll see coming down the wall and back behind this tank, we've got the AC supply. Like I said, this is a very versatile system. So basically what you have is the AC supply from here, you've got the DC supply from the panels, and then you've got the switch signal wire to tell it to turn on and off. Let's fire it up and take a look at it. big fan more myself of getting product in my hand and see what it's really about, particularly about Workhorse. The more I used it, the more I liked it. My customers love it. I've had no complaints. It's good equipment.